Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Chari Yamuna Tira Chari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Giridhara Dhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Giridhara Dhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So today we will be covering chapter 17. The title is Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at the earth. Text number 1 to text number 5. So, Maitre Uvacha Evam sa Bhagavan Vainya Khyapito Guna Karma Bhi Chandram Asatan Kamai Pratipujeb Bhinandya Cha Maitreya Evam sa Bhagavan Vainya Khyapito Guna Karma Bhi Chandayam Asastan Tan Kamai Pratipujya Bhinandya Cha Maitreya Uvacha Evam sa Bhagavan Vainya Khyapito Guna Karma Bhi Chandayam Asatan Kamai Pratipujya Bhinandya Cha. Anyone to say? Maitreya Uvacha Evam sa Bhagavan Vainya Khyapito Guna Karma Bhi Chandayama Satan Kamai Pratipujya Bhinandya Cha. Mataji. Maitreya Uvacha Evam sa Bhagavan Vainya Khyapito Guna Karma Bhi Chandayama Satan Kamai Pratipujya Bhinandya Cha. Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued to speak. Evam, thus, Sah, he, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Vainya, in the form of the son of King Vana, Khyapita, being glorified, Guna Karma Bhi, by qualities and factual activities, Chandayam asa, pacified. Tan, those reciters. Kamai, by various presentations. Pratipuja, offering all respects. Abhinandya, offering prayers. Cha, also. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued. In this way, the reciters who were glorifying Maharaj Prithu readily described his qualities and chivalrous activities. At the end, Maharaj Prithu offered them various presentations with all due respect and worshipped them adequately. I will now read the following verses also because there are 5 verses and then we will begin. Brahmana pramukhan varnan Britya matya purodasha Pauran jana padan shreni prakriti samapujayat. Brahmana pramukhan unto the leaders of the Brahmana community, Varnan to the other castes, Britya servants, Amatya ministers, Purodasha to the priests, Pauran to the citizens, Janapadan to his countrymen, Shreni to different communities, Prakriti to the admirers, and Samupujayat, he gave proper respects. Translation. King Prithu thus satisfied and offered all respect to all the leaders of the Brahmanas and other castes, to his servants, to his ministers, and to the priests, citizens, general countrymen, people from other communities, admirers and others, and thus they all became happy. Vidurovacha kasmadhadara gorupam dharitri bhaurupini yam dudoha pratustatra kovatsa dohanam chakim. Vidurovacha, Vidura inquired, Kasmat, why? Dadar took Gorupam, the shape of a cow, Dharitri, the earth, Bahurupini, who has many other forms, Yam, whom, Dudoha, milked, Pruthu, King Pruthu, Tatra, there, Kaha, who, Vatsa, the calf, Dohanam, the milking pot, Cha, also, Kim, what? Translation. Vidura inquired from the great sage Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, since Mother Earth can appear in different shapes, why did she take the shape of a cow? And when King Prithu milked her, who became the calf and what was the milking pot? Text 4. Prakrutya Visamadevi Kritatena Samakatham Tasya Medhyam Hayam Deva Kasya Hetur Apaharat. Prakrutya by nature, Visama not level, Devi the earth, Krita was made, Tena by him, Sama level, Katham how, Tasya his, Medhyam, meant for offering in the sacrifice, Hayam, horse, Deva, the demigod Indra, Kasya, for what? Heto, reason, Apaharat, stole. Translation. The surface of the earth is by nature low in some places and high in other places. How did King Prithu level the surface of the earth, and why did the king of heaven, Indra, steal the horse meant for the sacrifice? Sanat Kumarat Bhagavato Brahman Brahma vid Utamat Labdhva Jnanam Savijnanam Rajarshi Kam Gatim Gata. Sanat Kumarat. From Sanat Kumara, Bhagavata, the most powerful, Brahman, my dear, Brahmana, Brahma with Uttamat, well versed in the Vedic knowledge, Labdhva, after achieving, Jnanam, knowledge, so Vijnanam, for practical application, Rajarishi, the great saintly king, Kam, which Gatim, destination, Gata, achieved. Translation. The great saintly king Maharaj Prithu received knowledge from Sanat Kumara, who was the greatest Vedic scholar. After receiving knowledge to be applied practically in his life, how did the saintly king attain his desired destination? Purport by His Holy Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, systems of disciplic succession. One Sampradaya comes from Lord Brahma, one from the goddess of fortune, one from the Kumaras, headed by Sanat Kumara, and one from Lord Shiva. These 4 systems of disciplic succession are still going on. As King Prithu has illustrated, one who is serious about receiving transcendental Vedic knowledge must accept a guru or spiritual master in one of these 4 disciplic successions. It is said that unless one accepts a mantra from one of these sampradayas, the so-called mantra will not act in Kali Yuga. Many sampradayas have sprung up without authority and they are misleading the people by giving unauthorized mantras. The rascals of these so-called sampradayas do not observe the Vedic rules and regulations. Also, they are addicted to all kinds of sinful activities. They still offer the people mantras and thus mislead them. Intelligent persons, however, know that such mantras will never be successful, and as such, they never patronize such upstart spiritual groups. People should be very careful of these nonsensical sampradayas. To get some facility for sense gratification, unfortunately, people in this age receive mantras from these so-called sampradayas. Prithu Maharaj, however, showed by his example that one should receive knowledge from a bona fide sampradaya. Therefore, Maharaj Prithu accepted Sanat Kumar as his spiritual master. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare. So thank you for giving me this opportunity today to talk on Canto 4, Chapter 17, Srimad Bhagavatam. In my last lecture, we had spoken about Maharaj Prithu's qualities and how he, as a king, as a Shakti avatar, Saktavesh avatar, which is a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how he conducted himself in order to be able to, demonstrate leadership in his ruling of or in his governance. So here, in this chapter from text 1 to 5, we will be going through each of those texts and discuss, how relevant it is in our today's life and what it actually means. So if you see the first verse, wherein the translation says that the great sage Maitreya continued, which means Maitreya actually spoke now. He said that after King Prithu, the supreme protector of the people, and performed all the duties of a king, he traveled around the world. During his travels, he saw that the various people were in need of various necessities of life, and thus he made arrangements to satisfy their needs and ensure that they were engaged in their respective duties. So one of the things which one needs to do is, he needs to ensure that there is proper governance, there is agricultural development in society, and that is what he wanted to ensure, and this is what is highlighted is that in today's governance we see that though governments are formed and all that, how much are they really catering to the needs of the people that they govern? And one of the things, Prithu, though being the Shakti avatar, Shaktavesh avatar of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he went out of the way to demonstrate that, okay, let me go around and mix along with the people to actually see what they are suffering, and not, just through word of mouth or somebody telling him something. So this is what he demonstrate, and the key themes in this verse is, like, for example, Adirath, which is supreme protector. So King Prithu is described as the ultimate protector of his citizens, emphasizing his responsibilities to ensure their welfare. And Avapta Karmana, completion of duties. What he did is, after fulfilling his loyal duties, King Prithu embarked on a journey to personally inspect what's going on in this kingdom, and Sarva Kamadaha, fulfiller of all desires. So he ensures that all necessities are provided to the citizens, while encouraging them to follow their dharmas and duties. So this shows the three aspects of leadership, which is personal involvement, though he is a king, compassionate leadership, that is, he empathizes with the material and spiritual needs of the people, and then encouragement of dharma as a means to maintain social harmony and progress. This is what he wants to establish also. So he is therefore ensuring that Swadharma, which is engaging in their respective duties, and according to the social Varna, social order and ashrama, the stage of life which are essential for individual and collective progress, whether this is being maintained. And that is what we need to also understand in today's world, in Kali Yuga that we lead in. What is it that we can understand from this is that a true leader must be selfless, compassionate, and proactive in addressing the needs of those they serve. Are we doing that? We see the various elections happening around the world with democracies or whatever. Are there really true leaders today who are really selfless, and not looking at their own gains, with what's happening with war and other things, whether the people's welfare is at stake or it is only power people are looking at. So they should not only focus on material development, but they should looking at moral and encourage moral and spiritual values, which is not to be seen today. And he also, how sustainable governance is done by seeing that wealth is distributed fairly and evenly across the people. And, like with climate change, food security, all of these are major topics which is already there and demonstrated in the Srimad Bhagavatam by King Prithu, how he went out of the way to ensure that, which will come in the next verse of the fact that Mother Earth, who is supposed to give us enough to be able to eat, it is just that there is not enough for the greed of the people, but there is enough for the need of the people. Provided it is, distributed in an even manner, then everybody will get the required food that is required. And this he wanted to ensure because people were being hungry across the nation that he was ruling, and he wanted to ensure that from Mother Earth, who had converted herself into cow, he could get that. So that is something which he demonstrated, and he's shown that his position is like a servant leader, like more like a dasya, and with power comes responsibility, and that is to be ensured or used in the welfare of the people, and that is what he has kind of shown in this particular verse. So be with empathize with the people, and ensure that there is good governance. So, and you have to balance the material with the spiritual life, which is very, very important in today's world. And so by following King Prithu's example, we can strive to become better leaders to our own spheres while ensuring harmony between material progress and spiritual growth. So that is what the first verse talks about in this particular chapter. The second verse, if you see, translation said that the citizen said, "O great king, you are the protector of surrender souls, and you have been appointed to give employment to us according to your capacity. Yet you do not engage us in agricultural activities, although the earth is willing to produce food if plowed. Because of this, we are very much afflicted by hunger." So here, in this verse, as I said, the citizens approach the King Prithu with their grievances about there being lack of food and they being hungry. And here it is demonstrated how King Prithu is giving a patient ear to them to understand the actual problems that they're having, and to see how he can help them so to ensure that they don't go hungry by growing the requisite crops, by plowing Mother Earth, is something which is what is being elicited here. And the key themes which we can talk about here is citizens' dependence on leadership. So mostly what happens in today's world, is that of course citizens do their duties, but still they have to depend on leadership, the people who govern them, to take certain actions which will help them to lead their life, material life, as well as of course their spiritual life. And it shows also the earth's potential to provide the resources which are already available. It is just that how we utilize those resources effectively is what is important here, and what is shown through Spiritu's leadership. And finally, it also shows that hunger is a universal concern, that it's always a pressing issue. Even in those times it was there, even in today's time it is there. And we see that distribution throughout, where there is an imbalance. There are people who get lots to eat, and there are people who get nothing to eat, and throughout the world. And in spite of the fact that there is so much available. So there are some countries you get everything, and there are some countries you don't get anything at all. So these differences can be seen. But when Prithu was there as a ruler, he actually showed that no, it can be done in such a way that all the food that is available can be equally distributed. And so without proper leadership, even fertile land you cannot plow to ensure that crops come. So with this, the fact that the citizens reminded King Prithu of to tell him that to engage them in meaningful work so that they can plow Mother Earth and get effective crops out of it, which will eliminate the hunger with them. So what is the lesson for our modern society is that modern leaders must prioritize things like food security and employment. This is very, very important, and they must create systems that enable people to contribute productively to the society. This is something which is elicited here. So to engage people in productive activities not only elevate poverty but also fosters a sense of purpose and dignity. And the role of a leader as a character is shown in Vedic culture, that they were seen more as a characters who were responsible for ensuring both material and spiritual well-being, and the citizen complete faith in King Prithu's ability to resolve this problem. And the earth is also personified in Vedic literature as a conscious being who responds to human activities. It's not some, how do I say, inanimate thing here, the earth. The Bhumi is somebody who is taken as, a human being, a goddess, and with proper respect and care for nature are essential, therefore, for prosperity for our society. And neglecting dharma disrupts this harmony and resulting in scarcity and suffering. And that is something which is also demonstrated here. And the takeaway thing is true leadership involves listening to people's concerns, addressing their needs, and fostering harmony with nature. So this is something which is basically summarized in the second verse, showing Prithu's qualities of listening to his citizens. Citizens came and addressed their grievances, which we do today also, but how much of it is really addressed by the leadership is something which here Prithu shows. He goes out onto the, among the people, understands their problems, understand that there is hunger, and he wants to see that how it can be resolved. So if you see in the verse 3, the translation says, King Prithu replied, "My dear citizens, your statements are certainly correct. The king is always the servant of the citizens, so he accepts that, and he always must think of their welfare. Because of this, I am very much obliged to you. You have correctly spoken about the principles of religion that bind the king and the citizens in a relationship. The affection between the citizens and the king is like that between a father and his children." So that is the kind of relationship the governance should have. Like today, I don't know how far we are from the leadership, whether the people who are governing us look upon us as the kids. That kind of relationship should be there, which Prithu had with the citizens, And he therefore, accepts this fact, and citizens who had spoken about, the lack of resources to ensure that hunger is taken care of, is now addressed by King Prithu, where he accepts it, and he reflects on the moral responsibilities between a ruler and his subjects. So the ideal, what is a king-citizen relationship or a ruler to the citizen relationship, is something which should be very affectionate, like between a father and their children, or parents and the children, and it is rooted in mutual service, where the king, he should serve as a protector and provider, and the citizens support him through their cooperation. So that is what is the kind of leadership which is rooted in dharma, which is not about personal power but about selfless service to others. So it always talks about how you can be serving the citizens, and this also shows in the next verses also how it goes about to action this, to ensure that people's hunger is taken care of. So he never exhibited the fact that he's a partial expansion of the Lord by his actions. He never showed that no, I am somebody who is different, I'm more powerful. He never exhibited power. He showed empathy to the citizens, and he accepted that there is accountability, which is not at all there in today's world, that he is accountable for whatever is happening, and that's something which we can take away from this particular verse. And What is the practical applications of this in our day-to-day life? If you look at this particular verse and what a king and citizen relationship is, that whether we work at home, we are at work or at home, we can emulate King Prithu by his leadership as an opportunity to serve others rather than seeking personal gain. It's very easy to say, difficult to implement, but this is what we need to do: is how we can serve the people around us. And you should have your relationships like a parent and child, which is, you have to try to build relationship based on care, trust, and mutual respect. It should not be by force. Anything that, if you look at personal level or personal level or professional level, any relationship will always remain only because of respect for you, not anything more. So you have to be able to demonstrate to people by your actions so that that kind of love, trust, and mutual respect is built. And you have to balance responsibility with empathy. While fulfilling our responsibility towards others, we must also empathize with the struggles and needs which they have. It's not easy to tell them like do this, but understand the problems that they're undergoing and see how you can find solutions with the problems that we need to do. And at the end of the day, leadership is not about power or control, but about serving others with love and humility while upholding dharma. This is something which also comes out in this verse. Chapter 17, verse 4 then talks about, therefore for the benefit of all of you, I shall bring the earth under my control and make her produce all necessities. She will supply all your needs in abundance as was previously arranged, for she is capable of fulfilling the desires of everyone. So here, yeah. No, I'm not exactly telling you what is written in the Bhagavatam in a way. It is just the, how do I say, interpretation of that, of what Vidura is saying. For example, he says that, he's asking questions like, why she became a cow, why did he, flatten the earth and all that. I understand that point of it, which will be actually discussed later on in the subsequent verses of why she became a cow and why he, became a calf to kind of take it out, and why should he, in a way, it is spoken in some of the verses, in the verse that why, in spite of the fact that she's a cow, why was King Prithu very strict with her? Because he did that just for the citizens of the place, because they were hungry, and for some reason Bhumi was not providing the right resources for them, though it was abundantly available, and it was in the form of a cow. Then he milked the cow so that he could then provide to the citizens. So this is just, as I said, I have kind of taken it out and then given the broader context of this whole thing, of these verses, of what it actually signifies deeply. Why Bhumi became a cow is one thing, but the most important aspect is that Prithu himself was very strict with Bhumi, though in our scripture it said that please be respectful to the cow, try not to, see that you get the maximum benefit from the cow for whatever that she provides in terms of milk, cow dung and all of that, which we anyway take. But here, it is something above that. Here, because of the fact that, in spite of the fact that it was Mother Earth who took the form of a cow, he wanted to milk her and ensure that all the resources that are possible to be given by Mother Earth are then given further to the citizens, and to enable them to be productively utilize them for ensuring that they progress firstly in their material life, because without material life they will not be able to go to the next stage of spiritual life. I can't tell them that you are hungry, oh please be hungry, please keep not eating any food, but still try to ensure and follow your spiritual practice. That will not be possible even in today's world. It is more material, less spiritual. But first, when their needs are satisfied, they have all their immediate needs satisfied, then they will look at the next step of going towards how they can practically implement this in their spiritual journey. So this is something which is spoken about here, and that is what in each of the verses, though it is in the form that I have not actually told in the translation wise, but it is, as I said, looking beyond that and see what is actually trying to convey in each of those 4 verses. So because of the fact that they had expressed their hunger, Prithu took the proactive step to ensure that he goes to Bhumi and sees how he can get those resources out of her. And here, things which are shown is that Earth is a living entity; it is not some inanimate thing, and also how one should, in our modern life, use the resources in the right manner and not try to overexploit things. In today's world, we are trying to overexploit everything and trying to see how we can take out more and more from Mother Earth, and that's why things like the green revolution, and not green revolution, I'm saying environmental protection and those kinds of climate change and things are happening, because we are not looking at things from a fact that Mother Earth is a person, and if you're trying to do some harm to the person, then obviously something will happen which will boomerang back to us, and that is what is happening today. We're trying to overexploit certain things instead of trying to use what is required for us. We try to do more than that, then that has its negative effects, and that is what we are. Then we will have society which says that we'll have to do environment protection, have less carbon footprint. All of that is the fact that because we are not treating Bhumi as a mother. If we treat and give the same love as a mother to Bhumi, we wouldn't have been in the stage that we are in today. So he therefore recognizes that sustainable management of resources is key to long-term prosperity, and his actions are also motivated because there is a genuine desire to serve his people. So this verse reflects the Vedic principle that nature, Prakriti, responds possibility when humans act in alignment with dharma, which is righteousness. It also underscores the concept of stewardship. Humans are entrusted with the responsibility to take care for and utilize nature wisely. So, modern leaders must therefore prioritize these sustainable practices to ensure equitable distribution of these resources, which in some countries may be doing. So, issues like deforestation, climate change, and overexploitation of natural resources can be addressed by adopting these principles of stewardship and dharma. So, you have to take decisive actions, and which is what Prithu did. And things like organic farming, conservation, and renewable energy align basically today with these kinds of principles. So, go away from greed, then it will slowly come back to the state that we were during Prithu's times. And the practical application, as I said, is you have to take responsibility like Prithu did. You have to live in harmony with nature, and then you have to serve others selflessly. And we can conclude with this verse saying that Prithu's exemplary qualities as a leader shows the fact that he takes decisive action for the welfare of his people, and these are therefore today the most important aspect to take responsibility for the people's welfare by fostering harmony with nature through righteous actions. Finally, the last verse is that it is in the purport also we saw that Prithu finally, to ensure, of course, he did all those certain actions by going to Mother Earth and milking her and ensuring that the people get the respective food to satiate their hunger. But he also demonstrated that he will follow a certain sampradaya. Now, what is a sampradaya? It's a form of what you call as disciplic succession that is mentioned in our scriptures, and we also know that there are 4 types of sampradayas, which is based on what we are supposed to follow. And the Sri Sampradaya, the Rudra Sampradaya, Imbarka Sampradaya, and the Madhava Sampradaya, the Brahma Sampradaya, which basically we follow. And Sampradaya itself, there are actually the full form of Sampradaya, if you look at it, some is so it's samak, and which means complete, and the next one pra, which breaks up into a thorough, and then daya is bestowing. So if you look at the whole word, it means that it's complete and thorough knowledge which is bestowed to the people through the portion of disciplic succession. And this is what is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna, that any sampradaya, which is nothing but transcendental knowledge which is passed on from guru to disciple, it ensures the purity and authenticity of the spiritual teachings. And this is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, number 2, text 2, that this supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it that way. So what is the purpose of this sampradaya, and what is Prithu here demonstrating by following the Nimbarka sampradaya, which is basically Sanat Kumar, Sananandan, and the 4 Kumaras who were born of the mind of Lord Brahma, who decided, they were always kids, and they decided never to marry. Brahma had created them so that he could ensure that creation goes on, but they refused to marry and beget children. They decided to be celibate throughout their life and to follow the spiritual progress. And one of those, as I said, sampradayas is the Nimbarka sampradaya, which here Prithu demonstrated, though being a Shaktivesh avatar, that he will follow that particular sampradaya, which is the Nimbarka sampradaya. And it's the purpose. What is the purpose of this? Is to preserve and propagate the parampara, the disciplic lineage, for transmitting spiritual knowledge without any distortion. And this serves as a bridge between the Supreme Lord and the conditioned souls. So sampradaya is nothing but a bridge which is trying to ensure that there is no gap between what was spoken by Krishna to what actually finally the conditioned souls get it. So that is always gone through the disciplic succession, and even in spite of the fact that it got broken off, Krishna mentions in right from the sun god down, it somewhere again Krishna came in and ensured that the brick is corrected, and again the disciplic succession remains, so that whatever was imparted comes to us today. We are fortunate to have that. And Prithu's leadership by following this Kumara Sampradaya reflects his leadership, reflects principles rooted in pure devotion and dharma. And as I mentioned, the 4 authorized Vaishnava Sampradayas are established by divine personalities to guide humanity towards liberation, moksha, through devotion, bhakti, and each Sampradaya emphasizes unique philosophical perspectives while remaining centered on devotion to the Lord Krishna. And if you see Brahma Sampradaya, which is was created by Lord Brahma, and we follow kind of that dualism, Dvaita, clear distinction between God and soul. Madhvacharya was the person. Then the Sri Sampradaya, which is goddess Lakshmi, it's qualified non-dualism, Vishishta Advaita, unity with distinction, which is Ramanujacharya, is to follow that Bhagavatam, if you go to 6.3.20. Rudra Sampradaya, which is Lord Shiva, pure monism. Shuddha Advaita, oneness with God, which is by Vallabhacharya. And then the Kumara Sampradaya, which is 4 Kumaras, dualistic, non-dualism. Dvaita Advaita, oneness and difference, which is the Nimbarka Sampradaya. So the founders of this particular Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, because this is what is being followed by Prithu, they are Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. They were sons of Brahma who chose celibacy and renunciation over material life. They disseminated transcendental knowledge throughout the universe, focusing on devotees to Krishna as the ultimate path to liberation, moksha. And the philosophy, as I said, is Dvaita Advaita, dualistic non-dualism. So Nimbarka later formalized the Sampradaya's philosophy emphasizing simultaneous oneness and difference between the soul Jiva and God Brahman. So here the Supreme Brahman is identified as Radha Krishna, worshipped as a mode of union, Sambhoga Ras. This is what is basically followed by the Kumar Sampradaya. And Kumaras instructed King Prithu on surrendering to Krishna as the ultimate refuge for liberation. This is also mentioned in Canto 4, Chapter 22. Their teachings emphasize detachment from material desires, devotion to Krishna, and self-realization. So, what is the relevance of Nimbarka's teachings? It's that he introduced worship to Radha Krishna in a wedded mood, Swakya Bhav, distinct from our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, paramour mood or the Parakya Bhav. This is the difference between the Nimbarka and our Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And this focus on devotional service aligns with Maharaj Prithu's also alignment or example of ruling with devotion and dharma. So this is something which comes out here of why this particular fact that we need to first surrender or at least accept a guru in our journey towards spiritual progress. And it's said that, okay, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or if it is here, Prabhupada also has mentioned that in today's world there are so many gurus who come in and they impart certain mantras. So the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, though it is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya has been imparted to us, it doesn't mean that anybody and everybody, though they may be trying to at least embark on this journey by chanting, but the right method would be that if you can first surrender to your spiritual guru and get initiated through him, then it is like a path being created into your heart, and the mantra gets accepted when you actually get into a mood, the right mood for you to be able to chant it and therefore implement it in your day-to-day life. So initiation in a way, as how do I say, in any auspicious thing you do, you take the blessings of somebody so that their blessings guide you in your journey, and you are at least in a way, how do I say, forced to respect somebody, saying that I made a promise to my guru that I will do this. So sometimes when you make promise to somebody, either out of fear, which is not the right thing, but out of love and respect for that person, you will see that whatever instructions were given to you by your guru, where you made those 4 promises that we do, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication. Once you have made this promise, you therefore then ensure that you try to follow it in your day-to-day life. And once you have created this kind of sattvic mood around you, then you can chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is being given in this Kali Yuga by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And when you take this initiation, you also make a promise that, because of the mercy of our Guru, Param Guru, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he said that, okay, in Gaudiya Vaishnava, obviously people try to chant the maximum number of Hare Krishna Mahamantra per day, at least 64 rounds daily. But at least in this Kali Yuga, because so many people who are newly into this movement were not so wanting to give that much time, though it is not too much of a time. So he said that, okay, at least chant a minimum of 16 rounds. So we take this vow with our Guru that we will at least chant 16 rounds of the mantra with dedication every day, for us to therefore be able to move forward in our spiritual journey and see the effects of that in our day-to-day life. And by doing all the other sevas that you do today to the lordships, you also then get that kind of extra push without your knowledge, wherein you will get certain instances around you. Maybe if you see around the world, there are people who are trying to struggle in their day-to-day life to even have food during the day, whereas you have been fortunate enough to get right prasadam with you for you, and you've been given enough time to actually earn your livelihood, also enough time therefore also to serve the Lord and chant this Mahamantra. It is just our inclination to do that. How much time we want to give our time to the Lordship for chanting gives that kind of dedication. And that's why it is told that please try to do during the Brahma Muhurt, because in today's world there's so much of distraction once you wake up, right from telephone to mobile phone and all other content coming in. So if you can give your personal attention and personal time to Krishna by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then you would have given justice to the vow that you took to your spiritual master, to be able to, who gave you this particular Mahamantra initiation and, enabled you to chant this Mahamantra. So in this age of Kali, this is really important. And we are fortunate to follow this particular disciplic succession path. We have found our guru. If not, at least we are aspiring to follow a certain guru, and it will only push us more towards trying to be able to chant this Maha Mantra more and more. The way Maharaj Prithu also did this with the Nimbarka Sampradaya with Sanatan and Sanat Kumar and so on. So, Krishna, as he says, that evam parampara praptam imam rajarseo vidu. This ensures that teaching remain pure and free from misinterpretation. So we have got through this disciplic succession. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also one of the part of that particular succession, the right kind of instructions which are there, and we therefore are fortunate, and we should try to use that. And what happens is that this particular, decline in dharma which is happening in Kali Yuga, this disciplic succession and whatever processes are followed, which ensure that it still remains, even though it is just the beginning of Kali Yuga. Hopefully this will not get deteriorated from time to time. And this helps us in today's world to have access to this unaltered spiritual knowledge, which we are fortunate about. And acharyas like Nimbarka Acharya ensure that seekers receive guidance rooted in scriptures. So, despite the philosophical differences, all sampradayas emphasize that we surrender to Krishna and as the ultimate goal. And this unity reflects Krishna's teaching in the Gita, which is in 9.22. It says that those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give them what they lack and preserve what they have. So that is, again, as I mentioned to you, we keep on, if you read the Gita in various verses, Krishna has reiterated again and again that the more you surrender to him, of course, through your guru, and whatever seva that you do every day in front of Lord Narasimha will ensure that all these obstacles that you have in your daily path is removed through your service to him, as well as your dedication to following your spiritual master with whatever conflicts that you have in your mind day in and day out. They get automatically addressed in your day-to-day life. And that is something which we need to get motivated and encouraged to not deter away from the path of whatever journey that we have. It is very easy in this material world. Once you get out of this temple, get out of this environment, get out of this sadhu sangha, you will get into the complete, force of material nature, or the material, Lord Durga or Maya or whoever call it, who will ensure that because one part of your mind is always wanting to go towards that. Whenever I chant, the most easiest distraction is, the mobile phone or things like that. Why should that be? How can I get that honesty from within myself to keep away all of this for at least 2 hours, Can I do that, Can I bring that attention? Can I bring that focus in my chanting? Is the challenge which I face day in and day out. And, in spite of the fact that, we keep on telling about all the apradhas that we do by doing inattentive chanting, it is only giving an opportunity for Maya to come in. It's more than anything else. You're giving an opportunity for Maya. Oh, looks like this person's mind is still open for material benefits. So let me try to attract him towards that, because that is the job that she has been given, which she is doing with dedication to Krishna. It is for you to see, how you can try to keep that at bay. And as I said, it is not easy. For me also, it is not easy. It is only things and opportunities like, doing this Bhagavatam class, which came up for me suddenly, that now I am trying to deep dwell into each of those verses and trying to really find out. Otherwise, of course, we read it every day, but it escapes us. That impact doesn't come. So the more I read it, the more I realize, that it is not that it is happening today, though it is Kali Yuga. In all the yugas, all of this was happening. But at that time, the mood was different. The kind of leaders that were there were different. Today we have to take the challenge that no, we don't have those leaders. we have, of course, the leaders among the immediate self. Within the community that we are living, we have leaders. But at the overall higher macro level, do we have those leaders? We may not have those leaders. Day in and day out, when we look at news, we will only get demotivated by the wars that are going on, what is happening around the world, killings happening around the world in the name of religion and otherwise. And it also shows that, because these things are happening in Kali Yuga, how can we escape from that? How can we try to rectify or focus our mindset to bring that kind of peace within ourselves in spite of what is happening around you, is what is, we gain by reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, doing the kind of service we do, and we dedicatedly chant. If you don't chant with dedication, you will see the negative impact of that too. So the best part is that whatever you do it with sincerity, do it with purpose, and then you will see small progresses in your journey. You will see some things around you. And I also seen that if I really pray for certain things, that okay, I want to go to Vrindavan, the Lord enables that, because again going to Vrindavan, what it means that you are again coming into an environment of goodness. It's not that bad things don't happen in Vrindavan, but you are always around Krishna's, whatever pastimes that it did with the various temples, with the aartis that you attend, with the service that you do, you are more prone to therefore chant things there and get that feeling, that mood. But it is not always possible to do that. But when you pray with in your heart, make those small promises to your Guru, to Krishna, he will ensure that he enables you. Otherwise, Maya will come in with full force and take you to a resort somewhere in Bali, or where you can enjoy your, whatever that you call as enjoyment. So, as a follower of Kumara Nimbarka, Prithu's example, Maharaj Prithu exemplifies leadership rooted in devotion and dharma. And authentic spiritual progress requires adherence to a bona fide sampradaya. That is also something which we need to take example from Prithu Maharaj. And seekers should study scriptures under qualified teachers within a disciplic lineage to ensure proper understanding and practice. So this is what I would like to summarize in the whole, is that here Prithu has set an example of governance, how to lead people, how to govern, how to take care of the subjects from a leadership point of view, that he went right down to Bhumi Devi, ensured that she gave back whatever she was holding to the people, ensured that hunger is satiated for the people, and then so that they can get into the spiritual journey or in their journey. And for getting into a spiritual journey, he showed by example by accepting a spiritual master, which is the Nimbarka Sampradaya, and he demonstrated to us that please do that, because only through this particular way you will be able to progress in your spiritual journey today. Hare Krishna. Any questions, any comments? Yes, Prabhu.
Recently I heard that the strict followers of Madhvacharya, they don't accept the Gaudiya Sampradaya. You know something about this?
No, I am not aware of it. But see, finally what happens, the most important thing is to follow a Sampradaya. It's not that, okay, I accept a certain Sampradaya or I don't accept a certain Sampradaya. If you're following, the Madhava or the Sri Sampradaya, if you call it that way, then follow it with dedication, because finally you're going to reach Krishna. Krishna has said that these 4 Sampradayas are the bona fide ones. However, whatever form, some Sampradayas got diverted, because in Kali Yuga again what happens is that some adjustments are made for people, and certain Sampradayas are very strict. So if you say, for example, as far as I know in Sri Sampradaya, they don't follow Ekadasi. It's not allowed to be fasting without water and all that. So they don't follow in that manner. Does it mean that, okay, it is Lakshmi only, finally? At the end of the day, it's Lakshmi who is again so dear to Krishna. If you can, but with dedication, follow those teachings, you will finally again achieve Krishna. That is your final goal. So it is up to them whether they follow certain things and they say that, no, I am not going to follow your Sampradaya, it's okay. But you should follow your Sampradaya with dedication, because that is a bona fide Sampradaya. You are getting the teachings, which will enable you to progress in your spiritual journey, is what you look at. You will always find in anything that you do, there will be some people who will not follow certain things. There will be certain people who will follow strictly certain aspects. But one has to be flexible in our journey, towards. It's not that, okay, you are following me. If I look at, okay, I'm following the Gaudiya, principles, then I see as far as possible that I stick to it and not try to confuse myself with various different philosophies. That sometimes happens, that you always have this tendency to, okay, let me follow this. For example, there's somebody called Sadhguru in India, or Sri Ravi Shankar and things like that, wherein then you will get into a conflict. If you're following a certain particular sampradaya, then follow it with dedication. Ensure that certain confusing aspects don't come to your mind. If you follow with dedication, you will then slowly see the effect of that in your own personal life, and that will motivate you to move further. If not, then you shift to another sampradaya. But if you have followed a particular sampradaya, you see benefits out of it. The more you do it with dedication, then only you will get the benefits. Otherwise, you won't. That is my take on that. I hope I have answered your question. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yeah, sure.
You mentioned Vallabhacharya. To which sampradaya he belongs? To Kumar sampradaya, or?
No, Kumara sampradaya is not Vallabhacharya. So I think it's Rudra sampradaya.
Rudra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shiva, following Shiva.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was not the founder, or?
No, he's not the founder, but it's like, for the people in today's world, it's somebody has to take control, isn't it? So like that, Brahma Sampradaya was already there, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in and then he propagated that. So like that, in today's Kali Yuga, there was Vallabhacharya who is doing it. So that way, they...
In Kali Yuga.
Yeah, so he's taken... If you look at the Vallabhacharya Sampradaya, they will call him Mahaprabhu. Like we call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but if you go to Vrindavan, they will say Mahaprabhu. Because I know of, in my, close circle, they are from Kutch, which is a region in India, near Gujarat. They follow Vallabhacharya. So they will say Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's place. So if you go to Radhakund, you'll see Vallabhacharya's place where you can go. But he's called Mahaprabhu. And in Vallabhacharya's, I don't know if you've seen, that if you've done Govardhan Parikrama, normally in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that you should not touch your feet on any aspect of the Govardhan. But in Vallabhacharya principle, there's a temple on top which they visit. So actually they are going and climbing that. So it is not wrong for them. But for our philosophy, because we follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we say that no, we shouldn't touch that. And if you see, most of the time, even they don't, I think they say Krishnam Sharanam Mama. That is what they chant. Krishnam Sharanam Mama or something. Not Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Maya. This is what they chant. And also for them, they normally, if I see in their homes, they will go and always serve Laddu Gopal. That means Krishna in the form of a kid. Every time when I go to their house, they will be offering butter and things like that. But what is the focus here? Krishna. Krishna is the focus. How you kind of serve him is the focus. So that is each of those philosophy. But the most important aspect is that it is all through bona fide way that it has come to us. Once we have adopted a particular philosophy, let us follow it with dedication.
Thank you. Is it Vallabhacharya who went the Pushti mark?
Correct. That is Pushti mark. You are right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.